Last week, I reported on how Russia's invasion of Ukraine is also an invasion on democracy. I mentioned that it's important for those of us living in democratic nations to pay close attention to what's going on in this conflict. This week, I want to take that story a little further and show you exactly how the war in Ukraine is directly affecting everyone in the world, including you. If you're like most people, you are probably wondering if the whole world is condemning Russia for what they're doing in Ukraine, why isn't more being done to stop them? Certainly, if every major European government and the United States came down on Russia militarily, Russia would be crushed in a matter of hours. But no, as horrible as Putin's actions are in the sight of the world, no one really seems to be doing anything other than imposing sanctions. It just didn't make any sense until this past weekend. You see, the United States and certain European governments have been very quiet about one thing in particular because they didn't want us focusing on it. They didn't want us to know that while they were condemning Russia for the war, they were also continuing to support the Russian economy by importing Russian gas and oil. Oh, what Russia is doing is detestable and outrageous. Hey, Russia, y'all got those 700,000 barrels of oil we gonna need today? According to Reuters, US lawmakers this past weekend began working on legislation that would ban Russian oil imports. This placed the Biden administration in the hot seat because they wanted to be the first to announce a ban for political reasons, of course. Now that we in the media have gotten a hold of this information, it is further forcing Biden's hand. Yesterday, it was reported that he would announce a ban on all Russian oil and gas imports at 10:45 a.m.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine.
Meanwhile, Russia warns that oil prices will hit $300 a barrel if the West chooses to ban imports. The price of oil surged to $130 a barrel Monday night, which is continuing to not only drain American pocketbooks at the gas pump, but also is serving to drive up inflation on other goods and commodities. Democratic U.S. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware told CNN, "We are going to see increased gas prices here in the United States. In Europe, they will see dramatic increases in prices. That's the cost of standing up for freedom and standing alongside the Ukrainian people. But it's going to cost us." So, in case you're not hurting financially already, expect more pain to come your way. And Russia, by the way, isn't flinching in light of any of this. In fact, Russia Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak said in a statement on state television, "If you want to reject energy supplies from Russia, go ahead. We are ready for it. We know where we could redirect the volumes to." Russia is saying, do what you have to do because we're going to continue to do what we want to do. You want to ban importing our oil and gas? Go right ahead. We'll sell our products elsewhere. Indeed, if the United States imposed a ban on Russian oil and gas, it would hardly affect the Russian economy. That's because we only import about 8% of Russian oil and gas per year, which comes to about 672,000 barrels a day. Whereas certain European countries like Germany imports over 30% of Russian oil annually, which comes to millions of barrels a day. And on Monday, Germany came flat out and said, we're not going to impose any ban on Russian oil. We need that oil. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz released a statement saying on Monday, Europe has deliberately exempted energy supplies from Russia from sanctions. At the moment, Europe's supply of energy for heat generation, mobility, power supply, and industry cannot be secured in any other way. It is therefore of essential importance for the provision of public services and the daily lives of our citizens. The German chancellor says we can't afford to ban Russian oil imports because we're too dependent on them, which is hugely ironic because as long as Germany and other European countries continue to import oil and gas from Russia, they're likewise continuing to support the Russian economy, which in turn is being used to fuel the war in Ukraine. As reported by Politico, one of the darkest ironies of Russian President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine is that Europe is helping fund the Kremlin's war machine through energy payments. So, as you can see, this Ukrainian conflict is a mess and quite literally is impacting everyone around the world. If we're not threatened with losing power and electricity in Europe due to a ban on Russian oil and gas, we'll certainly feel the pain financially as gas prices and inflation continues to soar here in the United States. In fact, just before recording this broadcast, I received a notification from USA Today reporting that as of Tuesday morning, gas prices in the US are the highest in history at $4.17 a gallon, breaking the 2008 record where gas prices had spiked to $4.11 a gallon. Nothing that the world is doing is causing Russia to budge. So, how do you think all of this is going to end? I want to hear from you. Please leave a comment and share your thoughts. How do you feel about this conflict and what do you think needs to be done in order to resolve it? Until next time, I'm Javon Harris for Seek, and I thank you for watching.